Hello everyone, welcome to Fighting Conversation. Today I'm with James Mccorrie. How has fight camp been for you for this fight coming up?
Fight camp's been excellent. My last couple of fight camps, I've had obviously a serious injury. This time last year, I detached my bicep.
Mm.
I was told that I probably shouldn't fight again at my age. In that period, I was told anyway. After my 3 month consultation, I was told not to punch for at least a year, and I had two fights in that time. So most of the camp was spent kind of trying to rehabilitate injury and prove I could sort of do it again. So this fight camp, straight after my last fight, I hurt my hands a bit, so I wasn't really able to punch for maybe like 6 weeks. But I never really stopped training. I was in the gym all over Christmas, running, doing bits on the bike and doing bits with what I could. So I basically started camp from how fit I was the last camp and built on it. I've also added a lot more into my camp. I've added in sort of clinching coaching with Robert Whiteford. I've added a strength and conditioning coach, Paul MRP. Um, Got Curtis for my nutrition. Obviously, Aaron is my main coach for my boxing. And I've got Dom there for sort of a different variation of clinching. So I've got a lot of coaches, a lot of knowledge round about me. Some of the best coaches in the world. Like I said, like Robert is probably one of the biggest names in British combat sports when you think about it. So a lot of
Mm.
experience round about me, and I've a lot of people to learn from.
Sounds like you've got a good team around you.
Aye, excellent team. I don't think I can have a better team rooting about me. I've had great sparring partners all the way through camp as well. So camp has been excellent. If anything, I've probably maybe done myself a bit of injustice with overtraining a bit. My
Mhm.
coaches, every one of my coaches, from Curtis to Alan to my strength and conditioning coach, all told me sort of rest a bit more. But as what it is, I mean, I'm where I am now. So, aye, camp's went great for me. Maybe overtrained a bit. I'm feeling a bit tired the last couple of weeks, but that's fine.
Yeah.
I've got a week now to recover, basically. My last hard session today.
Yeah, that's normal to feel tired after a hard camp.
Aye, the thing is, I mean, if you'd asked me 3 weeks ago, how do I feel? I would have told you I could feel it running through a wall, which was the case. Maybe 2.5 weeks ago, I think I got a wee bit of a bug. A couple of boys in the gym, actually, Mark was up at the gym. I was doing a bit of sparring with him, and he was sick. After that, I felt sick for a couple of days, but I don't usually get a sickness bug. I'm usually a chesty type person. But
Hmm.
then after it, for like a week or so, my legs felt really heavy. But on that same day, I dropped my calories. So I thought it was the calories that dropped. But the last week training, I felt a bit better.
Yeah.
I felt probably how I should feel, as in like sort of a bit sort of burned a lot of calories with not enough calorie intake. But the week before, I actually felt terrible. So I'm
Mhm.
putting it down to I had a bug, and now I'm feeling how I should feel at this stage of
Yeah.
camp.
How many weeks was your camp?
As I said, I've never really stopped training since my last fight, but about an 8 week proper camp since I've really started punching again. I couldn't really punch at the start. You could say a 10 week camp, but it wasn't really. The first couple of weeks of that 10 weeks, I was punching foam pads and moving about my head and that, but punching properly and stuff like that, maybe about 8 weeks.
Okay. How many times a week are you sparring?
Many times a week in my sparring? 3 or 4 times a week sparring. Saturdays usually a heavy day sparring. All the boys in the gym sort of get together. On a Monday night, I do a bit of sparring with some other boys did fights, and my pal Doty and stuff like that. I was in with him, and and try and get in an extra one or two a week. But probably 3 times, I would say, three times
Yeah.
a week on average.
Heavy rounds.
All different types of rounds.
Yeah.
It depends on what I pace. I mean, sometimes I would do 15 2 minute rounds, whereas today I'm obviously tired. I done what I do today. I think I done 5 rounds, but it was like on and off rounds, and done
Yeah.
three split.
What is a week of training like for you? What sort of things are you doing?
A week of training. Let's kind of start. kind of in the morning, I'll usually do a gym session, which is usually like a jog or something like that, or I run. I know jogging and runs in the same thing, but it's different things. Like a jog, as in a long pace recovery run, or maybe some sprints and that in the morning. Then at night times, it's usually like say a Monday sparring, Tuesday 1-to-1 boxing, Wednesday maybe sort of sparring again, Thursday 1-to-1 boxing, Friday clinching, Saturday again sparring, and again my strength and conditioning in
Mhm.
between. Like I'm maybe doing 14 sessions a week. So every day, Monday, Saturday, twice a day, then adding in the extra sparring sessions,
Mhm.
maybe an extra 2 a week sparring, so maybe 14 sessions a week I'm doing.
That's a lot. A lot of
As a
training.
lot, as I said, everybody keeps telling me when about me I'm overtraining, need to scale it back a bit. But as what it is, I am where I am now.
The hard work pays off, and it certainly paid off in your last fight.
Yeah, it did, as I said, but again, my last camp wasn't ideal. I was mostly dealing with an injury. Like up until just before my fight, really, like I couldn't. I had like maybe about that much rotation in my arm. I've obviously been seeing Hannah HD performance from my physio, and she's got my arm working again. I mean, it's not 100% when you have a serious injury like that, like detaching your bicep and tendons and stuff like that, and operations and surgery. The chances of that ever healing properly is zero. You know what I mean? So my arm's probably as good as it was going to be towards the end of my camp. But my arm was functioning as you can see, like I've got about 95% rotation in my hand.
Mhm.
So that was like that towards the end of my camp, and now I've been able to just sort of work on boxing, work on other things without having to worry about sort of re-injuring myself or doing whatever with my arm.
What inspired, sorry, what inspired you to start bare knuckle?
I think what it was is like I sort of always loved fighting. Like I've ever since like I was born in Drumchapel, which is one of the roughest, toughest schemes in Glasgow. So for younger, like I was always fighting. It was like even if it's play fighting or carrying on fighting, it's kind of just what you done growing up. No, I mean, it was just one of
Yeah.
the things you'd always done. As I get a bit older and stuff like that, I had kids and got older and all that, but it's kind of like I don't know, you never kind of grow up and stuff like that, so it's kind of always been in me. I've done a bit of all through my life. I kind of done a bit of boxing, done a bit of Thai boxing. Like I just done it for kind of fitness. I never really took it seriously.
Mhm.
Then about 3 years ago, I started back boxing training. Just sort of when COVID happened,
Yeah.
I was like to myself, I wanted to get fit because I was sitting drinking beers at the back and eating and all that sort of stuff, and I got myself in a terrible state. I was sort of up to like 15 stone. So I was like, I want to get fit. I started first off at hill walking. I was like, no, what? I'm going to get back to boxing because the boxing, Thai boxing stuff like that, that's when I lost the sort of most of the amount of weight. So I kind of just went for fun. Then the more I was just going to kind of I was an MMA gym. I was going to first. I was maybe just training once or twice a week. Then I did a couple of boxing classes. Then a couple of years ago, I joined the AMC, or La Prera Boxing, as it's called, up at Queensley under Alan, and all the guys in there are all sort of fighters guys. They're all sort of different breed of guys. They're all sort of like sort of mentally wired and switched on to boxing. All the guys were all kind of fighting then the kind of way I fight, because as I said, like, I've always grew up fighting, so I always came from a sort of like street fighting background. Like all the boys in there were talking about doing a bare knuckle show. Just as they were talking about doing the first bare knuckle show, that's when I sort of injured myself. So I was at the gym for 6 months. I kind of didn't really keep in touch with the gym because again I was annoyed, I was injured and thinking sort of whenever I'm able to train again and all that sort of stuff. And when I came back to the gym, I heard about the sort of the first bare knuckle event and how good it was, and watched the videos and that sort of stuff, and it kind of got me excited. I was just like, aye, that's exciting. You know what I mean? It wasn't really at my age, like fighting this sort of boxing match and that sort of stuff. It was. I'm never going to be an excellent boxer. I'm too old to become an excellent boxer. Like, as in, like, I mean, I can box. I can box, but I mean, like, I'm never going to be an amateur style boxer and
Yeah.
in and out and all that sort of stuff. So bare knuckle, it completely suits my style far better. Come forward, I've got a good chin, I can hit hard, I can take a shot. The
Yeah.
sort of clinching, grabbing, sort of more a rough and tough, ready type of fighter. So that's what I think suits me down to a T. You know what I mean? All the boys at the gym were all like, by the way, you should try bare knuckle. But again, I think it's just come tough. I mean, in a gym, even when I was tired and coming back from injuries, I was sparring all these guys who was all fighting. I mean, I've never sort of quit or never gave up or never really been hurt or that sort of stuff. So again, I was like, oh, you should try bare knuckle. You'll be good at it. I think it's just again just my sort of tough guy mentality.
Hmm. What are your goals this year for bare knuckle? Do you plan on making it to the BKFC this year?
Well, the thing is, obviously, my goal is to win this Scottish title. That's
Yeah.
my sort of biggest goal. Scottish title, I think, will be the second or third or whatever it is, sort of Scottish ever champion at bare knuckle, which again is a goal in itself.
Yeah.
There is talk and rumours of a BKFC happening in September in Glasgow. I mean, I don't know how true it is. I was talking to Andrew Bakewell. I was going to Battle of Bolton, one of his shows last week, and he was mentioning get me on. But I mean, I'm 39 years old. I'm not trying to chase a career at bare knuckle. I do it because I love the fun of fighting. I love fighting under impact manner. Like I love it. All the
Hmm.
guys sort of look after you well. They treat you well. They point you in the right direction. They sort of again. I love their branding. I love their promotions. They're very professional. Like
Yeah.
I know a lot of the boys fight the BKFC, but the setup for the BKFC isn't it amazing? Consider it's a massive brand worldwide and all that. The sort of fights get changed and cancelled, and cards are announced to 3 weeks, 3 weeks out. So, I mean, if an opportunity comes to me and I offer to fight the BKFC, like it depends. I mean, depends on sort of money they want
Yeah.
to pay, and that sort of thing. And I don't think I don't think Mark in that. I mean, Mark will be my manager to the type thing, or Mark is my manager. He'll point me in the right direction. I mean, if he wants me to fight an Impact again, I'll fight an Impact again. If he thinks I should jump at a chance at the BKFC, I'll take a chance at the BKFC. But as I said, it's something I'm not chasing. Would I like to do it? I like to do it for the sense to say I've done it, but it's
Yeah.
no something, as I said, it's no something I'm chasing or my goals or my dreams to fight in the BKFC.
Yeah. What do you know about your opponent?
What I know about him is he's he's an amateur background. I think he fought amateur boxing when he was 19 to 21. So again, he's going to be a skilled boxer. Like as I said, I'm never going to be a skilled boxer, but yeah, his background and his boxing IQ is going to be probably maybe higher than mine. But again, I mean, that's what I know about him. He fought in the last Impact show against a tough opponent. He was hurt badly in the first round. I thought he was going to be done, to be fair. And he came back, so he showed a lot of heart. He showed he can come back for getting hurt. He actually stopped him in the fourth round, so it actually shows he's got a really quick recovery. It shows he's got a decent boxing brain and IQ to avoid getting stopped after being hurt so badly. I mean, again, most people sort of with a fighting style would kind of just rush in and end up getting stopped. But he shows he's got a boxing IQ to survive. I mean, he can
Yeah.
survive. He can survive. He's got heart. He shows he can recover well.
How many fights do you plan on having this year?
Well, I think I'll either fight. I think Impact are going to have a big, massive summer show again, backing the first one. I think I'm 100% sure in August. So I plan to fight this fight, assuming I win, which I'm very confident I'm going to win. I will fight again one more time this year. So either on the Impact show or if the BKFC come here in September. Depending, as I said, depending what direction Mark wants to put me in,
Mhm.
one of the two, and that'll be me for the year.
Would that be in the Hydro? The
I'm not
BKFC
100% sure,
Hydro?
but I'm assuming so. I mean, it's probably the only place big enough to hold it. And the likes that, if they get the likes of Sean and John and that in the card, the sort of following they bring. And even, I mean, myself, I mean, I think I could take a massive following to a sort of BKFC event.
Mhm.
I think, I mean, the guys in Scotland and Glasgow, I mean, they can pull some crowds. Even Impact, I mean, their two shows have been 2,000 plus. I mean,
Yeah.
the second biggest organisation in the UK is the BKB, and I think they pull attendances up there with the BKB. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
impact attendance wise, isn't far off what the biggest already in the UK.
Yeah. Just I think a lot of people just like the goriness.
I, I,
And
that's exactly it. I mean, the bare knuckle, especially in Glasgow. I mean, Glasgow's always sort of brought up with tough guy mentality and stuff like that. I mean, it's all about that. So I think I'm not 100% sure. I mean, I think it would be quite difficult to get a big show. I mean, there'll be a lot of loops and things like that that BK still need to jump through to get it happening in Glasgow. But most of it, I mean, Mark and Andrew Bakewell have a great relationship. So I'd imagine if there's a show in Glasgow, it'll be headlined with one of the sort of Impact slash BKFC stars,
yeah.
and a lot of us Impact boys, assuming we want to do it, and assuming we're winning, assuming we're holding belts, will probably be one of the first sort of guys that want on the show. Because
If
obviously as
they
well, local guys are going to sell tickets.
if they do come, I imagine Sean Weir would probably be the main event for the Glasgow show. He
Yeah,
put on amazing.
I'd imagine so. It just depends Sean's plans. I think he wants to fight Conor Cook next for the British belt. I
Okay.
think Conor Cook's sort of tied up fighting in America though, so it just depends how quick Conor heals and what sort of Conor's goals are. I mean, I think he's sort of maybe is it a European or world title eliminator or something like that. So if Conor wins his next fight, the chances is he might go in a different direction. He might vacate the belt. If he does that, it'll let Sean swipe it, the vacant belt. I can't really see anybody beating Sean. You know what I mean? In the UK, he's had the hardest fight for Sean in the UK is Conor Cook. He's the only one that can sort of match him with size, and he's got a very good boxing ability. But again, Sean, he's shown these two fights an absolute animal. I can't see anybody beating him in the UK. You know what I mean? Or at all. You know what I mean? His mentality is so strong. Sean's a hard fight for anybody.
He had an amazing performance in Newcastle.
Aye, excellent. I mean, wasn't just his performance. Like after John lost his fight, I was gutted. It's obviously I'm very close with John, sort of trained with John. Then I felt like going home after it, but then when Sean came out, he sort of the crowd went electric. The full arena went electric. He sort of the way he speaks as well. See the way he speaks after the fight, like here we go again. He gets the fans on his side. I don't know. There's something about Sean. I mean that he can sort of orchestrate the crowd and or sort of about his ring walk or something. I don't know. I mean, he's just a sort of an exciting guy to bring about.
Hmm. Robert Whiteford is in Chris Duncan's corner tonight for the UFC, and I believe he trains with you.
Yeah.
Can we,
Aye. Soon.
can we get a prediction for that fight?
I think Chris Duncan will stop him in the second or third round. Chris is believe it or not, he's a slow starter. I know in his last fight, you never seen that, but he's Robert calls it a third lung he's got because he's got this sort of a third lung. You know what I mean? The longer the fight goes on, the longer it's going to suit Chris. But I think Chris will take him out in the second or third round. Chris goes into every fight, he's underdog. You know what I mean? Every
Yeah,
fight
yeah,
Chris has had in the UFC, he's been underdog. But I just again. I don't know if it's sort of Scottish lads. We all seem to be built different. I mean, we're all sort of a different mentality and all that. And Christie's last fight, I mean, if you watch the first 30 seconds, the first minute of that fight, you thought he was out on his feet. But again, it just shows you, see, you get hurt like that and recover so quickly and take the guy out. It just shows the fitness level you've got. You need to
yeah,
be unbelievably fit to recover that quick. And I believe Christie's fitness and his heart and endurance will get him through that fight. I think he wins it. Then he's already headlining the show. Then I don't know where he goes. He's a massive thing
yeah.
for Christie's next fight.
He's got a tough opponent ahead of him. I think his opponents fought Islam Makhachev, Jose Aldo. I'm not sure who else off the top of my head, but I think those are like the big ones that are like quite tough.
Aye,
So
Chris, as I said, but in Chris's, every one of Chris's UFC fights, he's been underdog. So
Yeah,
again, he's going to be the underdog, but he always pulls out the bag. Like I said, his last fight, I mean, his last fight was absolutely fantastic. Like, if you watched that fight after 2 minutes of that fight, or a minute and a half of that fight, and somebody told you that Chris was going to win that fight, you would never have believed it. I mean, there was how he came back for that round and sort of it wasn't even that he came back and finished him in that round. I mean, it was
yeah.
unbelievable.
Are you staying up to watch it?
Yeah, I'll probably not stay up. I mean, I need to try and rest and recover, but I'll
Yeah.
get back up for it. I mean,
Mhm.
I've been reposting and resharing these things, and I'm getting buzzed about it. I mean, it's a massive event for Britain, a massive event for Scotland, and a
Yeah.
massive event for Chris. I just really hope he does it. Him and Robert, hope they do it, then get the job done. I think they're back here tomorrow or Monday, and hopefully come to my fight to show me some support.
Yeah, of course. Hopefully they bring the UFC back to Glasgow.
Yeah, it would be great. I mean, and again, with somebody like Chris Duncan, again, I mean, he's going to bring if the UFC comes back to Glasgow. I mean, Chris Duncan's going to sell thousands of tickets. I mean, he
Yeah.
he alone will sell at that arena.
Yeah, he would. 100%. Apart from your fight, which are you most excited to see on Impact 3?
There's a few fights that I'm excited to see. I think John Hamilton will be in a really good fight. Obviously, the main event, Barry Boyle, I think will be in a really good fight. I think the heavyweights, there's always something about heavyweights that get exciting. I
Mhm.
think John Hamilton will probably be fighting tonight. I'm also excited to see what Barry can do. And there's another boy fighting the card, a boy Stuart Anderson. I think he's 3-0 or 4-0, but bare knuckle. He's fought in like, much smaller events, but if you watch his Instagram and that, he looks unreal. He's fighting a boy from Italy, Daniel. I can't quite remember his second name, but again, the boys fought. It was at the BKB or the WBKB the last fight. If you watch his last fight, the boys showed he's absolutely tough as nails. I think that fight could be a really good fight. The boy Stuart looks really handy, and the boy he's fighting looks tough. It makes for a good fight. I mean, somebody with such a good boxing getting in against somebody who's tough, I think that'd be a good fight. But I think John Hamilton's fight will steal the show. Also, as well, Damien Buckley, who just had a last minute opponent change, his fight's going to be excellent as well.
Barry had a really good second round knockout on the last Impact show. I believe he'll get another knockout this time round.
I think the boy's fighting, but Rafix, I mean, he's fought in the BKFC before, so it's a big name. I mean, it's a massive. All the boys up in their gyms. So you've got obviously Barry who's fighting Rafix. You've got John who's fighting Dan, and you've got me who's fighting for the Scottish title. So we're all in three massive fights, and I think it's
Mhm.
the me and Barry are co-main event, and John is the feature bout. So three massive bouts
Yeah.
for all 3 years up in our gym. And their fights are probably going to be the most exciting. And again, I'm not just being biased, but that last Impact show I fought in Impact 2 was probably the best the best collection of fights that I've ever seen at any show. I mean, I've been following boxing in the UFC and all that sort of stuff all my life. Like, I'm a massive combat sport fan, I'm a massive boxing fan, I'm a massive BKFC fan, but Impact 2 was some of the best fights I've ever seen in my life. There was not one bad fight in that. There was blood,
No, there wasn't.
there was blood, there was knockdowns, there was everything that was so exciting. But I really believe that the way these fights have been matched on Impact 3, this could top that card. Yeah, but I
Yeah.
believe as well, Iska, who obviously were there, said it themselves that was shaping up to be one of the best, or if not the best, bare knuckle card they'd ever officiated. So I do believe, but that this card could top it. So anybody who's sort of thinking about getting tickets and all that sort of stuff, or still swearing where to get tickets, get tickets. This event's going to be like lightning.
Mhm. If you win, who do you want next?
After I win, who do I want next? As I said, it depends. I mean, I think if I'm fighting the Impact show, next there's a few names I want to fight. There's a boy, Ryan McCarthy, who fought John Telfer on the first show. I think he'd be a good fight for me. A massive step up in opponent. He's fought in all over the world. Clan, is it Vengeance? He's obviously fought in the BKFC. Obviously, he's fought John Telfer. I just think it would be a really good test for me. I think that'd be a good fight for me, and maybe Ryan Carmichael. Ryan Carmichael fought on the last Impact show against Jack Blair at 66 kilos and won the British title. I think he campaigned in the BKFC at 70 kilos, so I've actually been speaking to Ryan. I mean, I like Ryan. Like before my last fight, I cut weight with him. I cut weight with him in the night before, so I keep in contact with him. But I was speaking to him recently and asked him what sort of weight he wants to fight in next, because I heard rumours that it was going to move down to 61 kilo, but he said that there's no chance. His coach won't let him. He said he wants to stay at 66 and defend his belt or fight at 70. He said he wants to fight at 70. So if I win this title, the next logical step for me is the Impact British title. And obviously, Ryan holds the belt at 66. So I think, again, if he wants to campaign at 70, he'll get a straight title shot at 70 for the British. So me and Ryan at 70 for the British title would make massive sense.
100%. Final question for you is, what is your prediction for your fight?
The prediction for my fight, I think I'll stop Dan in the third round. I think Dan is tough and showed a lot of heart. I think he's going to come out. Obviously, he's an amateur boxing background. He's going to come out. He's going to try and box me. He's going to try and box me. He's going to try and box tidy. I do think, but eventually he's going to get dragged into my fight. I think come the second round, he'll become a bit frustrated. He's going. I do believe he's massively underestimated my boxing. As I said, I'm not a great boxer, but I can box. He's massively underestimated it. I think he's underestimated my boxing, but I think come round two, I think round one he's going to stay in the back foot, try and figure him out. I think round two, I'll start drawing him into my fight. I think come the third round, I'll draw him into my fight. And once he's drawn into my fight, I believe it was hurt badly the last time. I believe I punch a lot harder than Nebraska, who fought in the last time. But I believe if I hurt him, he's not going to recover. If he does recover, Nebraska sort of let him off in that fight, and Dan was able to use his ring IQ to survive. But again, once he's in round three and he's in deep water, I don't think he's going to have the cardio that I've got. I don't think he's going to have the sort of fitness to get him through it. If he gets hurt badly, the way he gets hurt in that last time, that was the first round he got hurt. I don't think he's going to come in to try and have a war with me in the first round. But if I hurt him like, say, the third, fourth round, he's not getting out. He's not getting out the round. He's not surviving.
100%. Well, that's all from me, James. That's all my questions being asked.
That's perfect. Thank you very much. And I take it you're going to be at the show?
I'm going to try and get there, yeah.
Well, hopefully you're at the show and I can have a wee interview you after it. And
Yeah, definitely.
we could talk about fighting. Thanks very much for your time.
Having that strapped around your waist.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait to have it strapped around my waist. I've put everything into this camp. If I lose it, Dan's obviously he's fought the best version of myself. I'll have no excuses after it. I'm not going to with any injuries, any of this or any of that. If I lose, I've lost a better man.
Of course. Hopefully you don't lose.
No, I won't. I'm very, very confident, and I'll see you after the fight with that belt.